Hello everyone, Orb the Q here, and welcome. I hope everyone out there is doing well this afternoon, evening, or morning, whichever it may be for you. Today, we are doing something a little bit special for St. Paddy's Day, so welcome and happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone out there. So today is the first episode of the Drunken Game Lore. In today's episode of Drunken Game Lore, we're going to be talking about Breath of the Wild. Now, Breath of the Wild is the latest Legend of Zelda game in the series, and we're going to be doing the lore behind that entire game. This means we'll be starting from the very beginning of the story all the way to the very end. So definitely be sure to check this video out, guys. Give it a thumbs up, and of course, subscribe if you want to see more of me getting drunk talking about video games, because I'm already drunk, just to let you guys know. And we're going to be talking about video game lore, so let's see where I go with this. I don't know what's going to happen. Here's the alcohol that I'm going to be drinking off of for tonight. It's going to be vodka. I'm not going to label the brand just because I'm going to try to not label anything. Because I don't know what the liquor laws are for YouTube and all that, but hey. Cheers to everyone out there. I hope you're enjoying what you see, and let's begin. The Legend of Zelda. Breath of the Wild. I am drunk, and I am your host in tonight's Drunken Game Lore. So, here's how it begins. Link is totally naked, man. Like, he's actually legit, like naked. He ends up just coming out to, he wakes up in this tub. It's a bathtub, I guess. It's the Shrine of Resurrection. He's being resurrected. And he's coming to, and he's like, being told by this lady, her name is Zelda, as we find out later on, that he is the hope. That he is the light of Hyrule. So Link, he ends up just doing whatever he wants. This is the Breath of the Wild. You have lots of freedom. You control the character to do whatever you want to do. So you get all this stuff to do. You get to pick up sticks, you get to pick up Korok seeds, you get to just kill enemies. Excuse me. I'm a little bit drunk. Settle down. So, Link, the hero of the story, as he is always the hero to every Legend of Zelda story, he ends up going up to this tower, and he rings the bell, right? So he gets a Sheikah Slate, by the way, at the beginning of all this. So he takes his Sheikah Slate, he slams it on the tablet, on the little table thing for his tablet, and boom! This huge tower just erects out of the ground, right? Yeah. He ends up causing all the towers and all the areas to come awake. The shrines all activate, becoming yellow, or orange, rather. And voila! Link is at last ready to start his adventure. Or so we think, until we drop from the top of the tower straight to the bottom. You can actually avoid the fall damage by using your shield. So there you go. And then there's the old man. The old man is there to teach you about what shrines are. He wants treasure for his paraglider. Paraglider allows you to fly, right? So that's cool and all, but anyway, Link goes off, does these 4 different trials, clears them all, and lo and behold, the dude is like, here's my paraglider, but you have to listen to this entire story. So you see, Link, it was 100 years ago that we had to do something about Ganon's arrival. And so Ganon was summoned. And I, King Bosphorumpus, ended up trying to seal away this beast. I died, of course, in the battle. Mifa, Urbosa, Ravioli, and of course Daruk all faced against Ganon, only to meet their demise. Now their divine beasts are all taken over by evil, malicious aura, and you must free them. That's right. Free them. So that's King Buff's promise. But, yeah. That's the first chapter. The Great Plateau has been finished. So Link ventures out on his own tail, right? Well, he comes across enemies. He comes across shrines. He comes across stables as he goes through the dueling peaks to reach Kakariko Village. And then eventually meets Hestu as well. Hestu is like the best because he wants your seeds. So that way he can increase your inventory space. Which is cool. You gotta admire Hestu, especially since he likes his maracas. But anyway, you make it to Kakariko Village. You meet the old lady Impa, and she's like, Link, you must set the divine beast free. And then she's all like, you must find your missing memories. And so you end up getting told also one more extra thing here. You must go in search of my sister Pura, and she'll tell you how to use your Sheikah slate. So Pura, she is a little kid all of a sudden. She used to be an old lady, right? Impa states that she is her sister. So, come to find out, Pura did some sort of experiment that makes her into a kid. So, she'll live for another 100 years or so. Good job, Pura. You found the secret to immortality. Anyway, so Hateno is a city that is fortified and was never attacked by the Guardians because it was defended by the battling hero of 100 years ago, right? So you got the Hateno lab at the top of this village, right? So Pura is just like, you know what? I'm going to do something for you. There's the director over there for you. Go to him. He'll do something for you. You go to the director and then come to find out the director is actually Pura, the young little lass who was experimenting with immortality, I suppose, and became a young lad, or lass in this case, because she's a girl. But she's like, snippity snap! And all of a sudden you get your picture for Pura, and voila. She upgrades your Sheikah slate, you can get the Sheikah sensor. And plus here, you can get your Sheikah sensor, or your Sheikah bomb plus, your Sheikah stasis plus, which is really good because it allows you to use stasis on enemies. But you end up going on over, after this, straight to your first memory or to your Divine Beast. Say you go to your first memory, right? Hey, so there's a memory that you can go to. It's called, I don't know what it's called, but it's the memory right in front of Hyrule City. There's a memory there. Yeah, I get through Guardians to get there. But once you make it there, Zelda's like, I now pronounce you a champion and my assistant knight of whatever. And it's like, in this ceremony, Link is denounced a knight, and it's 100 years ago, by the way. So Ravioli is there. Freaking Raviolians. Wings. And Zelda's like, I pronounce you a knight. You then get this memory. You go back to Impa, and you get this awesome gear that allows you to equip up. And voila! You are now a champion. You get this champion armor that allows you to see the HP of enemies, which is really cool. So after this, you can either go to collect memories or you can go to the Divine Beast. So now we head on to our first Divine Beast, which is really awesome to talk about. We'll get to that in a moment. I just need to quickly, So now that we are more drunk, we can go further into the story. You head to the Rito village. You complete their task. Go on over to this dude, and he's like, hey, I'm the Rito guy. I'll take you to the Divine Beast, but that's all I can do. You fight whatever it is that the Divine Beast does. In this case, the bird, Ba Meadow, he ends up shooting like these lasers at you from these defensive cannons. You have to destroy these defensive cannons to get rid of the barriers, right? So you take out these barriers, boom, you just fly right on in there. You take out Windblight Cannon. That's the first Divine Beast. The second Divine Beast, pardon me, is gonna be Daruk's. So you go free Yunobo, who's trapped in this cave. Huh? I got the hicks. Say free Yunobo, right? Yunobo is a coward. He's like, I'll do anything for you, okay? And then he's got the shield and he's like, oh, please don't hurt me. So the shield activates for him, right? So you take Yunobo up to the top of Death Mountain and you launch him at Varudanya. And Varudanya gets hit by Yunobo and Yunobo is like, I think you did it. I'll see you in there, right? And then you just jump on in. Like, Link just jumps right on into the Divine Beast, and Yunobo is like, oh, okay. So you free Varudanya and save Daruk's soul. And then Daruk ends up seeing his grandchild, which is Yunobo, and Yunobo is like, hey, hi! And then Rudanya is like, alright, let's fire our beam. Oh yeah, and also, each Divine Beast you summon ends up firing a beam that goes to Hyrule Castle, right? So yeah, that's awesome. It's not like it's a damaging attack yet, but we're getting there. The next Divine Beast is Naboris. Naboris is a giant humpback camel, right? So you head on over to the desert. You find out you have to become a girl to just get into this village to begin with, because they don't allow men. And Link is a boy and you play as him. So you head on into the city after becoming a girl, which you have to obtain the right clothes to do so. So you have to wear stuff that allows you to look like a female a little bit. Apparently the guards actually think you're a female when you go in. So you go in, you meet the person there. Her name is... I don't know what her name is. She's like a 12-year-old girl who's leading the tribe, and come to find out, she's all like, yeah, I have a sand seal. Meet with me with the sand seal after you obtain the Thunder Helmet. So you have to infiltrate the Yiga base, because they were the ones who stole the Thunder Helmet to begin with. So once you steal the Thunder Helmet, you get to take that to her, and she's like, alright, follow me. So this is the hard part. You have to stick with her. If you're not within her bubble, you immediately die or so, because you get hit by the lightning damage. That does not feel good. So once you end up taking out the legs to Naboris, you can infiltrate Naboris and face against Thunderblight Gan. Voila, good job. Now there's only one Divine Beast left. You head on over to meet Prince Sidon. And also call him Sidon the Man. So Sidon the Man, he ends up inviting Link for some drinks. Like I've already been drinking myself. So... Oh my god, this guy has shipped so much with Link. So much. Sidon is like, come to my place and I shall show you a world of pure imagination. And so Link falls for the trap and he makes it all the way there. Come to find out, Sidon's father rather, interrupts their whole thing, and Muzu's like, I don't trust you darn Hylians for what you did to Lady Mipha. Which Mipha died 100 years ago in the war because of the Hylians. So Link has to prove himself by getting thunder arrows, or shock arrows, to take out Varuta. Now you need your shock arrows. You face Varuta, rather. You face Varuta, and you end up meeting with Mipha, and she's like, I'm the last of the 4 guardians, so go ahead, go to Hyrule Castle and do what you must. And then you teleport back into the Varuta village, and then her father, which his name is King Dolphin, he's all like, yes, I see you do not have the sword that seals the darkness. And then he tells you where the Sword of Darkness is, which leads to the next chapter. Anyway, so after clearing all 4 of the Divine Beasts, you can either do 2 of 3 things. Wait, 1 of 2 things. I'm getting a little bit unsure here now, by the way. So what's going on? You can either finish up the memories, or you can get the Master Sword. I suggest that at this point, which chronologically is the correct way, is to get all of the memories. Once you get all of the memories, Zelda is all like, Link, stay away from me! And then Link saves her, and she's all like, Link, let me heal your wounds! And then all of a sudden, she's like, I must go to a trial to save myself. And Link is like, okay, I'll come. I am Link and you play as me. So you go up to the top of this mountain, you free this dragon, right? Once you finish beating this dragon, you can go down and get this last memory, which is next to Lionel, by the way. And it's at the Lanayru gates. I'm sorry, I didn't let it come out like that. I'm there. I'm just a little bit tipsy. I'm not totally drunk. Again. Oh. So in this last memory, Zelda is like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't pray to them in time. So then the Guardians are like, don't worry, you'll get it. And Mipha is like, you know what? The reason why my power works is because I love Link. Maybe you should love Link too. And then, before she can actually spout that, Ganon is revived, spouts up from the ground. He takes over Hyrule Castle. So then the next memory is Zelda is trying to run from the castle with Link. And Link is like, don't worry, I got you. And he holds her tight. And that's where Zelda is like, you know what? Let's go to Impa. They try to get to Impa. They talk with Impa, I guess. And then they try to fight against the Guardians in the plains there, past dueling peaks there. And Link ends up fighting to his dying breath, basically. Then, just before he's killed by a Guardian, Zelda's like, and she saves him, using the power of light. So Link is just left there to die, and she's all like, Link, don't leave me! And Impa's men comes out of nowhere, and they're like, what should we do? And she's all like, Zelda's all like, yo, you need to go ahead and take him to the Shrine of Resurrection where he'll heal for 100 years. 100 years! And so they take him to the Shrine of Resurrection. Zelda ends up taking his Master Sword, bringing it to the deck tree in the trees. And this is where you get to go ahead and get your tree sword. So Link has now made it to the next chapter, right? Well, before that, fresh out. Okay? So Link goes to the Lost Woods. He gets lost a few times, but he finally makes his way to the Korok Forest, right? So he makes it to the freaking Korok Forest where he meets with the Yandere tree and the Tree of Life. I mean, the Deku tree. So the Deku tree tells him what to do. So you grab the sword, and if you have the DLC pack one, you get to go ahead and do these trials to make your Master Sword even more powerful than ever. So it's really cool though, because you can actually get your Master Sword to stay at a full power of 60. It'll still die off at some time, but you know, that's durability for you, am I right? So after you get your Master Sword, you can go all over the world, do all you want, including speaking with Cass. Cass is pretty flippin' cool. He's a very musical genius. He's got this like accordion thing, where he's all like, da 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 da. That's the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for you in a nutshell, except for one last chapter. Alas, the time comes that you come across with Impa, and she's like, go to Castle Hyrule! So you go to Castle Hyrule, right? This is where it gets really good. You face against a bunch of freaking Guardians, man. It's really crazy. You can also just skip out on this until later and do everything that you could possibly do behind your imagination. There's labyrinths, there's snowballs, there's also Pharaoh Lake. There's the 3 dragons too that you can go ahead and do. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of post-game content. But it's also pre-finished game content that you could do too. So there's that as well. It leads you to the final chapter. And at last, the final chapter is facing against Ganon. So at last, Link, with all his memories awakened, with the Master Sword in tow, and the Divine Beast free at last, Link heads to the Hyrule Castle. You must face against a bunch of guardians, which sucks because they're pretty powerful and everything. There's some Lionels on the way, which they're only in the gates, but they're still pretty strong. But once you get past them, you can finally go ahead and reach your final destination. Yeah, that's right. You face against Ganon. Now before this, there's also a separate whole story. It's the second thing that you can do, like the second DLC. You can face against Maz Koshia after doing all these different trials and stuff. I'll allow you to upgrade your abilities that you get from each Divine Beast, which is cool and all, but not exactly necessary. But anyway, you get to face against Ganon at last. Ganon starts out as Calamity Ganon, which is actually a creation from Ganon himself, which is the Scourge of Hyrule Castle. He ends up protecting Hyrule Castle, which is protecting the main body, or the main core of course, Ganon himself. This Divine Beast you end up facing against, but it's happily destroyed if you defeated the Guardians, or rather, you freed the Guardians. They'll be like, "My power is with you, Link," and 100 years in the making, and etc. like that. And all of a sudden, their 4 lasers blast into one point at the same time, and boom! They crash down upon Calamity Ganon, destroying half his health. And you get to face half his health. And then after this battle, it's not quite over yet, because you get to face the final form of Ganon himself. The Divine Beast himself, Ganon. So you face his pig form, where he's all like... He fires these giant lasers across the land. You go ahead and defeat them. And once you go ahead and defeat them, you use this bow of light to fire arrows. Right? So, after that, you end up facing off against Ganon and taking out that last eye, the core of Ganon himself. Once you do, Zelda comes down out of nowhere. She is all like, "I'm going to freeze you now into the space, and I'm going to compact you into a tiny singular point." So she seals Ganon into subspace, which is actually probably the realm of darkness or the realm of light, whichever it is, using the Triforce, okay? Which is really cool. This cutscene is amazingly beautiful. And then Ganon, he's simply sealed away. She comes up to Link and she's like, "Even though you don't remember me, I am glad and grateful that you have saved Hyrule." And then the credits roll. All is good in the world. Zelda and Link take off together to find out what's wrong with the Divine Beast as they become deactivated, as the Guardians of Light have each lost their essence and spirit. And thus ends The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. Thank you everyone for watching it thus far. I'm a little bit intoxicated a little bit, so because of that I'm gonna end the show here. But yeah, I ended up talking all the way through drunk while I was speaking about the lore of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Make sure to click that like button down below if you want to see more of this series, which is really good. Of course, happy St. Patrick's Day to all you out there. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone out there. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Anyway, I'm going to take off for now, guys. Thank you so very much for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, have fun.